Welcome to Surviving Motherhood. Okay, so I have this idea. I am trusting that it's an idea from the Holy Spirit. I'm praying that it will be a blessing to you. And I'm excited to get started on it. Okay, so what I need you to do is get a little piece of paper. It doesn't have to be big, like just a little piece. And I want to invite you to write down a Bible verse on it. And my plan is that we will spend the next 20 weeks memorizing a psalm together. I have at various times in my life memorized a psalm, and it's a really good spiritual exercise. It's a wonderful thing to do. And I always think that it's better to do things together. So I decided that I'm going to devote the next 20 Mondays to one verse a week from Psalm 66. The way I envision this working is that I'll share the psalm with you. I'll talk to you a little bit about it because honestly, I will have been thinking of the psalm the week leading up to today. Anyway, I'll share my thoughts with you, and then I'm going to invite you to invite him to speak to you, to have you memorize the verse and just think about it and pray about it and meditate on it for the rest of the week and just see how God move and transform your heart through his word. All right? So Psalm 66 verse 1 says, "Shout with joy to God, all the earth." That's it. Shout with joy to God, all the earth. And I don't know how much attention you may have been paying to the news over the past week, but between abortion stuff and church stuff and world stuff, there were many moments when I didn't feel like it was called for, appropriate, in line with my feelings to shout with joy. There's just been a lot of stuff going on that has been more breaking my heart than filling me with joy. And yet as I ponder this verse, shout with joy to God, all the earth, I am reminded, regardless of what's going on in our world, God is still good. I can still shout with joy because of who he is, regardless of what's happening in the world. And so, many times over the past week, I remembered this piece of paper sitting in my pocket I forgot to mention. Write it on a piece of paper and then stick it in your pocket. When you go through the day, whenever you, brush crumbs off your pants, whatever, when you do something that reminds you that paper's in your pocket, you take it out and you read it. And in my case, I would remember that I was carrying that verse and I would contemplate what was going on in the world and my heart might be breaking, but I would be reminded that God is worthy of praise. He's worthy of shouts with joy. And so that's what I've been doing, shouting with joy to God. So my friends, I want to invite you to get yourself a little piece of paper, write down on it, shout with joy to God, all the earth, Psalm 66:1, and fold it up and stick it in your pocket. And as you go through this week, ask the Lord to speak to you through his word. Ask him what it means for you to shout with joy to him. I look forward to continuing this with you next week when we look at verse 2. But for this week, shout with joy to God. And have a wonderful, Jesus-full week.